Guys, today we got one of the largest clothing brands just went bankrupt. Brands think Jordans are dead and running shoes are the next thing. And the Travis Scott Jordan scam just got exposed. Welcome to Sneaky Sunday. What a disaster of a weekend. Look, we're gonna get into all of the Travis Scott stuff in just a minute, but first I gotta tell you about Sneaky HQ. Another drop is going live at these times. And if you don't know what Sneaky HQ is, essentially it's something I'm doing every single Sunday where I'm selling off my collection of clothing and sneakers. There's some gems in there. I'm trying to price things as low as I possibly can for you. Of course, members get early access and all of the best discounts. But with that being said, let's talk about this, man. Let's talk about this. And let me first just set the scene. The Travis Scott pink pack. So we all know this has been leaked and rumored for the longest time. In fact, the rumor is that these were supposed to drop back in February as a Valentine's release. We got the shy pink. We've also got the tropical pink. Now, the interesting thing leading up to this is that the general consensus was there is a huge amount of pairs. This was going to be the highest stocked Travis Scott release ever. The stock numbers were 190,000 for the tropical pink and 110,000 pairs for the shy pink. That's a combined 300,000, which is pretty unheard of for any Travis Scott collab. And this got people super excited that they were actually going to have a chance to get a pair of Travis Scott Jordan 1 lows. There was posts like this from Uncle Chrissy. He was talking about how the Nigels were dropping in price, and is the Travis Scott Jordans next?
These $500 Travises are about to crash.
I mean, people were saying that these things were going to tank on the aftermarket. There was a bunch of different posts. I mean, we've got this, the top comment saying 300,000 stock in an undesirable colorway. These will be sub $300, possibly sub $250. Boy, were they wrong. But then the release happened, and it is quite literally the wildest Travis Scott release we have seen. And it kind of exposes the entire method that Travis Scott and Nike and Jordan Brand are using for the hype of these shoes.
I'm about to expose one of the biggest sneaker scandals ever. You're gonna wanna lock into this one.
This is a great video by this creator. I'm not sure if it's AJ or if it's Jared Jenkins, but that's his profile and he goes through the entire release. So for a Travis Scott release, usually there's three main places that you're going to try and buy them from: the Nike sneakers app, Travis Scott's website, and all of the different retailer raffles. So apparently there was a new company that was handling the raffle system called Super Swipe. Typically this is done by EQL or something like that, just to handle the amount of entries for this pair of shoes. Keep in mind, Travis Scott Jordan 1s typically get millions of entries. So you need a company that is able to process all of this on the back end.
Instead of going with an industry standard equal, they went with some brand new company named Super Swipe. This is a company that didn't exist until June 30th of last year.
And Super Swipe somehow managed to get a hold of the largest release of the entire year. And what this led to was just a terrible experience for people trying to buy this pair of shoes on Travis Scott's website. You can see screenshots of people having to wait an hour and a half just to try and enter.
After waiting through the queues, which were up to 90 minutes, once they got to the end of the line, they just got this notification that their cart was empty.
And that brings us to the backdooring. Now, this is not something that's uncommon. This happens every single Travis Scott release, and I'll explain why this one is a little bit different. But here we have photos of resellers with just walls, hundreds of pairs. Look at this guy. He has so many, I thought this was AI, but apparently it's not. He has a store and he's got all of the pairs. More pictures over here you could see featured from this account. There's a bunch of pairs from someone who took it in a freaking stock room. We've even got an eBay listing, and this one's probably the craziest. In the photos you can see, look at this. There's this pallet full of them, but then there's rows on the side from both sides, actually. It's ridiculous. And obviously backdooring is so common with Travis Scott releases that this is kind of just another drop. This is normal. So what does all of this mean? Well, here's the strategy that Travis Scott and Jordan Brand seem to be using with this pair of shoes. This is the same story every time, but the way that it was so methodically done through this release completely exposes the whole system. Travis Scott and Jordan Brand want to make a lot of money on this pair of shoes. That's why this is the 12th pair of lows that they've released. But how do they make a lot of money if it's always so limited? Well, maybe it's not as limited as we thought. Maybe those stock numbers were actually right. They made 300,000 pairs. It's just that resellers get them all. But if the resellers get it and not the general public, that way they can protect the scarcity of the item, of the pair of shoes. This would be such an obvious incentive. With any normal brand, you can't have hype and scarcity without a very limited limited product. But if you're only selling a certain amount, you're not making that much money. So how you make more money is just by passing it on to resellers who drive up the hype. People engage with these backdooring things, and then inevitably people just have to buy them on the aftermarket. Nike makes their money, resellers make their money, and people are still desperate to get their hands on this pair of shoes. Look at these prices. It's like, I think the lowest is what, 500. I know that they'll drop down over time once people start selling them off, the people that actually got them. And then the smaller sizes are like well over $1,000. Same thing for this one, which is actually a lot more expensive. 600 is the cheapest pair that you can get. I mean, how else do you explain Travis Scott going with Super Swipe? Like, obviously they have the ability to use EQL, a very established platform that handles multiple raffles for multiple different releases that all go pretty well. But like this guy says, it's one of the weirdest things. Either this person who started Super Swipe knows someone on the Travis Scott team, but this company was clearly never equipped to be able to handle a release like this. The other theory is that they decided to do it on purpose because it generates even more hype for the product. It's unconventional, but at the end of the day, the internet is now talking about this. A lot of people are engaging with it because so many people experienced this frustration of trying to get the pair of shoes. Either way, the outcome seems to be all the same. It's just so blatantly obvious with this release. It kind of clears up everything, and you can see the process of how everything works pretty clearly with these freaking pink packs. But either way, let me know if you think all of this is just too crazy. Let me know how the release experience was for you. Did you manage to get a pair? With that, let's keep it moving. One more little pit stop for Jordan 1s. We got this post here by Mr. Unloved Ones, an Instagram account that posts about Jordan 1s a lot and has a lot of experience. He says apparently there is going to be a huge scaling back from Jordan brand on particularly the Air Jordan 1 High for 2027. This makes a lot of sense. I mean, a lot of these Jordan 1 Highs that have been releasing, people just haven't seemed to be buying them. So I think it makes sense for Jordan brand to scale back and just listen to the market, listen to the people, let people just be happy with the ones that they already have before you start retroing more stuff that people just aren't ready for. Right, some new interesting sneakers that are upcoming. First up, we just got our first looks at the Yuto Horigome Nike SB Air Force 1 Low. I think actually, is this the first looks? Because I feel like I've seen these things before. So this is it. It's called the Iron Gray pair. I still am yet to try out the Nike Air Force 1 SB collab thing that they're doing, so I'm not entirely sure if it's like a lot better, a little bit more comfortable. Maybe anybody who's tried it, let me know down in the comment section. But this is a full 2026 release. It looks to take inspiration from a 1982 pair of Air Force Highs. I mean, you could see there's definitely a lot in common. Got a nice little detail on the back tab over here. These things are looking nice. I really do like Yuto Horigome's taste for colorways. They're always really wearable and just so aesthetically good looking. Either way, we got a while for these, but let me know what you think down in the comments. Vans are going to be pumping out one of their most hyped and popular models that they're doing, which is the Souvenir, the old school 36 Souvenir. We've got so many more colorways. This kind of peachy, pinkish type color, this navy blue one, and a triple black one, along with like a white one. There's plenty of others as well. But these are the ones that we have actual release dates for, or at least one of them, the 25th of next month in June. These are the official images. Will they cause chaos? I don't know, because there's so many colorways now. It's not like the first ones that caused absolute carnage where people were going crazy for them. Personally, I don't mind the black one or even the navy one. I like what Vans is doing. Let me know what you think about these down in the comment section. Have you tried out Vans' new style that they're going with? Sticking with Vans for a second though, we just got first looks at a potential Lil Uzi Vert collaboration. So he shared a picture of this, which shows this pair of Vans, which has the Lil Uzi Vert laces all over them. Now, this apparently is set to drop, this collaboration, in 2027. There's some potential mock-ups of the logo that they'll go with for the collab. There's multiple different pairs, like these slip-ons. You can even see down here, you've got Vans by Lil Uzi Vert. These are probably all just like samples, so they haven't really figured out what exactly they're going to be doing, but it looks interesting. It's definitely not my thing, but I'm sure it's probably going to be pretty hyped. But nowhere near as hyped as running shoes have become. That's right. All of these brands that used to be wanting to do dunk collabs and Air Forces and Jordans, now moving to running shoes. First up is the Bape Adidas Evo SL. Now, we spoke about these before, but they drop on June the 27th, and people are going crazy for these. I cannot tell you how many people are going to be after this pair of shoes. Now, for me personally, I'm not the biggest fan. Like, I don't mind the way that these things look, but you are getting like a right shoe that is blue and then a left one that is pink. So it's mismatch. And I'm typically not the biggest fan of mismatch colorways. And it's also $200, whereas like the actual pair is $150 top. So I'm not paying an extra $50 just for Bape's name on it. Nevertheless, these things are incredibly hyped and people will go nuts for that. But if you do like the Evo SL and want kind of a little bit of a switch up on it, I thought that these looked really cool. This is the Stella McCartney collaboration on these things. And this one is actually significantly different to the standard one. Now, these are going to be dropping next month, and look at them. We got two decent colorways. I mean, it's all like lace design, but it looks extra airy. I just think like if you're into the Evo SL, something like this seems a lot cooler because it's genuinely different. Either way, we don't have an exact release date on this, but yeah, like I said, supposed to drop next month. But one of the craziest ones is Ama Meniere. They said, hell, we've done the Jordan 1, the Jordan 4. Let's do a pair of running shoes. And they chose the Pegasus Premium. And you know what? I like it a lot. This is sick. This is such a clean colorway. Now, it's not going to be the typical Ama Meniere thing where you're getting like amazing quality because there's only so much you can do with a running shoe. Like if you try to think about like crazier, better materials, then you're just defeating the purpose of it still being a running shoe. So you definitely have to work within the confines of what's actually possible, but I think they did a great job. Like this colorway is beautiful. I love the sail midsole. I love this two-tone effect that they've got with all of the panels. I mean, the Pegasus Premium is just such a good looking pair of shoes that this just makes a lot of sense. Either way, it's dropping right around the corner, June the 5th. And here you go. There is an EQL draw open right now. Keyword EQL draw, not a super swipe draw. So here you go, both pairs, $210, which I think is like, that's the regular retail price of a Pegasus Premium. So well done, Ama Meniere, for not charging $300 for these things. I think I'm gonna try get my hands on these. These look sick. But the Pegasus Premium is not done yet, and this one seems to just be a GR. This is the Yin and Yang pack. So you're getting, I think, two different pairs, which look great. There's a whole different material swap on these things. It looks to be, I don't know, some kind of fused weatherized version. So I imagine these are going to drop. I mean, they say during the summer, but this looks more like a winterized version, doesn't it? Love the look of these things as well. I think the Pegasus Premium needs to get more different versions and stuff like that because I just think the design is so sick. Either way, these are going to cost a little bit more. I think $220, whereas they should normally cost $210, but no exact release details on these. But let me know what you think down in the comments. Man, this one's kind of good to see. This is the Public School NY Nike Air Max Go-A-Dome, which should be dropping holiday 2026. You know what I really think? That like they were supposed to go crazy with the Go-A-Dome, but we haven't seen anything. Maybe they're saving it up for fall time, which would kind of make sense. It is a big, heavy boot. But nevertheless, like I was expecting so many more colorways and collaborations. Either way, this one's next up, and I actually really like it. It basically just takes the Go-A-Dome, but slaps like this whole shroud on the top that's buckled in on the side. These, I have to imagine, are going to be extremely limited. Just look at all of the extra details that they had to do to this pair of shoes. So I don't think there's going to be a ton of pairs of these things, but at some point this holiday season, and I'm a fan, and they're $230, which is tough, but it's a good shoe. James Harden just debuted a brand new red colorway of the Adidas Jellyfish, which should be dropping. Like, how come we haven't seen more Jellyfish sneakers recently? Like, it's coming into the summertime. People should be ready with this pair of shoes. It's a banger for the summer. Now, this red one really doesn't do it for me, but I assume these should be dropping relatively soon. Yeah, this one's like, I'm just not a fan of the all over like deep maroon red, but either way, just wanted to briefly show this one. No exact release details. J Balvin and Jordan Brand are going to be dropping a Jordan 4, but which one? So apparently in September, we're either going to be getting this colorway, which looks very strange. I don't know if this one's confirmed yet, although we have an expected release date of September the 25th, so there's that. But this one looks, it looks wild to say the least. They've changed up so much on here in terms of the paneling. The materials look crazy. You've got a Nike swoosh on the midsole. But then we also have this colorway. This one I kind of prefer to the other one, but I don't know which one is releasing. So this one was just worn by him. Maybe it's a sample version, but one of these, potentially even both, maybe one's a friends and family, we should be getting September the 25th. Now, I don't know. These might be a little bit too crazy for me to actually pull off. So you let me know down in the comment section, would you wear these or none of them. Nike, Travis Scott, and Virgil Abloh coming together to release a pair of football shoes. Well, not quite. So this is something that we've seen for a while, yet the trailer just dropped. So this, for some reason, includes Travis Scott. I don't know what his involvement is, but they did this whole ad where basically Virgil Abloh archived the people who made those Euro Jordan 4s. They dropped a trailer for this, which Travis Scott is featured in it, and I don't really know what his involvement is. Basically, he's just a hyped person, so throw him in. But essentially, it's going to be this, the cryo shot, a pair of football boots that has, you know, that glued on outsole thing to cover it up so you can actually wear them casually. I don't know how successful this like is going to be for regular people. Like, would you actually wear these? Let me know in the comments. Either way, it's going to include this pair of shoes, but then also a whole like collection of clothing alongside it, and it's going to be dropping through the Nike sneakers app and a bunch of different retailers this summertime. No specific release date, but yeah, just wanted to give you the rundown on that. Also, a very small leak for later down the line this year, holiday 2026, we're supposed to be getting a Supreme Martine Rose Nike Dunk Low. Now, not too much information on this, just the fact that it's apparently going to have the color code of black, white, so just a black and white shoe. And it's scheduled to release fall winter, so it could drop anywhere between July and December for $150. As soon as we get any more information, I'll let you guys know. But let me know what you think about this collab. Is this something that you would be interested in? Will it get you interested in a pair of dunks again? And that brings us to Trapstar going bankrupt. Yes, this is pretty crazy news. Trapstar, one of the largest UK streetwear brands, has just filed for bankruptcy. And the actual term is that they have crashed into administration, at least according to this article. And they do stress the fact that this was endorsed by Jay-Z and Rihanna. So a bunch of celebrities behind this brand. Well, actually, there's more. Stormzy and Central C. Either way, it has collapsed into administration after failing to secure fresh investment. So essentially, they're looking for a buyer to take over. Trapstar suffered a sharp downturn in trading over recent years, with revenues falling from just under 40 million in 2022 to 17.7 million by 2024. So damn, 50% decline. The company's profits also dropped significantly, declining from 7.4 million to 1.2 million during 2023. So listen, I don't have too much experience with Trapstar. Like I tried their shoes out relatively recently, and I thought they were doing pretty cool, like moving into the retro runner space. Maybe that's not enough, or people just completely not liking Trapstar anymore. If you're a fan of them, let me know what you think down in the comments. There is some other videos online talking about how they did a lot of pre-orders, and now people are not entirely sure whether they're going to receive those pre-orders. It seems like a whole messy situation as a lot of administration and bankruptcies go. But either way, it's kind of sad to see. I mean, I'm not too familiar with the brand, but it seemed like they were doing pretty cool things. But there you have it. That wraps it up for this week's Sneaky Sunday. Don't forget, Sneaky HQ is going live at these times. Be there. There are some gems that I'm gonna put up. And of course, like always, I'm gonna leave another video in the top left-hand corner. Click on it to check it out.